Too easy.
You got any intro music or?
I think I'll add it in post. Yeah. Edit it. All
Or
right.
let me know if you want to work on some intro music for you.
Oh man, that's so exciting to hear.
Yeah, just give me a reference that you kind of vibe with, and then I'll make something similar to it.
All right, sweet. Okay, let's get into it.
Let's go.
You know the topic, baby. Yeah. Let's go. It's your boy Prince Hunky. Podcast, yeah. You know we keep it. You know what we're talking about. From the airways to your stereo. Yes, now you know. Said it's the Prince Hunky Podcast, baby.
All right, here we are. This is the first episode of the Prince Hunky Podcast. I'm very, very excited. I'm here with the amazing Xy Latu. Introduce yourself. Well, your name, where you're from, occupation, hobbies, and let's go your current track that you like or you're listening to.
Okay, so my name is Xy Latu. I am 24 and 44. Far out. Just had my birthday recently. What was the other ones?
What you do?
So I'm a musician full time, and I have a few side hustles that I do as well. My favorite track at the moment that I'm listening to, man, it's weird because at the moment there is one, but I'm trying to remember.
What's the vibe? Like, is it a certain decade, artist?
No, it's recent. It's a recent song.
Wow. Yeah.
But it's an Afrobeat song.
Oh yeah.
But I can't remember the name. But every time I hear it, it just gives me vibes, good vibes. So. But yeah, it's usually that. Who sings it? Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa.
Chris Brown, but there's another dude that sings. Yeah. I forgot it. But I only listened to that song end of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a vibe, man.
Yeah. I
know I'm probably old. I just came late to that track, but I love that track.
So what is your type of music? What's the type of music that you listen to?
It's always been R&B, soul, but being a producer, you kind of learn because you have to be open to other genres of music, because when you work with clients, they like a certain type of music when you record them. Yeah. And also doing gigs. So certain clients want certain songs. So you kind of especially when you have to learn the song for a wedding or whatever. Yeah. You kind of, it's like you're learning to love the song for the first time.
Okay.
You hear it a lot, but you're like, whatever. And then you learn the song because you're forced to learn it. And then you actually start liking the song, the way it's written, whatever. For example, there's an Excess song called I Need You Tonight. Yeah, that's something I'd never, there's no way I would sit down and listen to that. But because I would have to learn it for a gig, I learned to actually like that song. Yeah. So, it's there's a lot of songs, different genres that really hit me. So it doesn't really matter if it's R&B or hip hop. So as long as it hits me here, then I like it. That's on my playlist.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah. Do you go Spotify or Apple Music?
Spotify.
Yeah. Have you ever done Apple Music?
Nah, because I'm more of a Samsung. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Samsung.
Yeah,
an Android user over here.
But I used to be iPhone, but it just at one stage you weren't able to on iPhone download your own music into a playlist. You had to I don't know, jailbreak your phone or whatever. Yeah. That's so annoying that I was told by a Samsung user to get a Samsung because you can download straight from your email to a playlist and just create your own playlist. So that sold it for me. And I was wasting all these CDs and USBs. I would just be when I want to hear a song in the car, I would have to burn it out on a CD. Yeah. If you remember what that is. But yeah, we would burn out a CD and I'd be in the car, there'll be a stack this high of CDs with just one song. Wow. So it got pretty expensive. So yeah, when they told me about the Samsung thing, I was sold straight away.
Straight away.
Straight away.
Yeah. That's actually a pretty big revolution in music. because I still have I don't still have. I really just started collecting vinyls, like proper vinyls.
Oh,
on a record player, because I just like the simplicity.
Yeah.
Because you put on one record and it's just the one artist. Sometimes it's a compilation, but it's good to just like set it and forget it, and you don't really get to choose. You know, like in Netflix when you have to like, you take ages trying to choose something to watch.
Oh, 100%.
So like, I like the vinyl because like you can just choose the one thing and it's like that. And I've got all the new stuff. Like, I got Bruno and Silk Sonic, that whole album, and that's perfect. That's like the perfect for
actually,
vinyl.
I've seen your videos about Silk Sonic. They just, right?
Yeah.
And I felt that too. I was like, yeah, man.
Yeah, I love that. My favorite music is from the 70s, like disco, soul, funk, all that stuff. So like Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind and Fire and stuff. So when Bruno and Anderson came together to make that, I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is right in there.
Was that because of your upbringing, or was it just you just?
Man, well, like I was like just saying before we started recording, I was the movie guy. So like everyone in the family you'd know is like all music. You know, you got Coco, Shanice, even Dion does events and music and all that stuff. Yeah. But I was the one guy that's like, yeah, I'm going to do films. And then I think once I did a bit of that and found out that it wasn't all I wanted it to be, we did, you know, the Motown show that they always did? Yeah. They gave it to me and my mate Douglas to do. And, you know, that's all Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder. So that kind of sparked, and I was like, this actually means a lot because it's all the music I was listening to as a child. So we did all that, and everyone that was a part of it loved it. Everyone that came and watched also said they loved it as well. So that kind of really solidified, like, yeah, this is the music. This is the music for me. And, you know, I listen to the music now, and I feel like it's not the same. It doesn't have the same sort of, like, authenticity. So what do you think's missing in today's music or the music industry now? What's the thing that you think's missing?
It's going to sound real cheesy, but I think love. It is, man, because it's like, it's more about like your one night stands. Yeah. Money. What a guy can do to a girl. Yeah. It's like, it's not a, I mean, you have your small minorities of, you know, music that's about love, but it's like what's really getting exposure is like music that just has no substance, like nothing. Yeah, like, it's just like you like it one day and then it's gone. Yeah, it's gone the next. Not saying, you know, that a lot of the music today is like, are you allowed to swear? Yeah, shit. It's but it just doesn't have the same feel. Yeah. And I don't think like a lot of the kids will understand until they really research the music back, like yourself, you know, being young and then just really getting it in the early days, rather than like, you know, kids who are into the drill music, into that new style of R&B or whatever it is now. They just won't get it until they actually like listen to the music, study it, research, and they're not going to want to do that. Yeah. But yeah, I think they're just missing so much like that'll benefit them. Not just throughout their life, but just love life as well. Like, yeah. But we'll see. I mean, hopefully there'll be someone that'll come out. Like Bruno Mars is like a perfect example of like when he came out, I was like, yes, this is what we need. Yeah. This is what we need. Like, and yeah, it was like that. That album was on repeat. You know how on Spotify, you get those raps at the end of the year of
the Spotify rap,
yeah. And mine was like, Bruno Mars was on the top.
I was the same.
It was like, so Bruno Mars, even if you watch this, man, your new car's because of us. the new Bentley. Yeah,
he's really holding it down for that old school type of music, which is good. People criticize him for like copying it, but you know. Yeah, I find it not copying, but like you can tell that he's humbly like inspired by it. Like
I just don't get it. I don't know if these guys are just actually legit thinking that he's appropriating that style of music, or they're just haters. Haters. Yeah, because like I mean, it's been like this for years, and like I think around this decade is like when it started, you know, people started saying, oh no, this guy's appropriating black music or whatever. So I don't know, it's weird. It was weird to me when I saw that. I was like, why are they so mad at him? Like, the stuff's really good. And I think it's, if anything, like just inspiring like new artists to come up. And that type of music is what we need right now, rather than these, that type of music that's trying to stab people and whatever.
Yeah.
Not saying. I'm not saying anything.
So since you've brought up
4-4-4,
you've brought up Bruno as like your top artist, but who would you say is your biggest, or even give me like 3 of your biggest music inspirations? I feel like obviously like Michael Jackson's always like iconic. He's greatest of all time.
That's just the most typical answer.
Yeah. So what's who would you say has inspired your sort of musical identity?
I would have to say, I would have to go back. I'd have to go right back to Brian McKnight, Boyz II Men, Eric Benet, D'Angelo. Like, those were the dudes. I think D'Angelo's more later down the line, but like those 3 in particular, Boyz II Men, Eric Benet, and Brian McKnight were just like, they were Bible to me. Like,
yeah,
I would sit there and practice I would pretty much mimic everything they do, like everything. Like, and I would, because the conversation at that time was all about those 3, like especially Boyz II Men and Brian McKnight. And I didn't even know who Brian McKnight was.
Wow.
And once I found out, I fell in love. I was just like, yo, man, this is it. This is what I want to do. So most of my singing is definitely, the foundation was through those 3. Yeah. Those 3 artists. It was
awesome.
Yeah. Definitely. I had to go back to that because I don't have anything that's kind of like new age at the moment that I can think of off the top of my head. There's someone, but like, but I had to take it back to those 3 because I wouldn't be singing if it wasn't for those 3 artists.
Yeah. Wow. So you went to church as a kid though?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Were you singing?
Yeah, choirs.
Yeah.
Mum was like the what is it? The conductor? Is that what it is? The choir?
Choir.
I forgot anyway.
Yeah.
It's been that long since I've been to church, but yeah, she was the one directing the choir and stuff. So like, I was always in that, and it taught me, how to harmonize.
Yeah.
And so when I loved harmonies, that's when Boyz II Men and Brian McKnight.
Oh wow, yeah.
And I would listen to that. I would be like, yo, man, what is that half note that they just did? Like, in church, it's like the C, D, E, and then someone touched Boyz II Men, it's like there's in between notes, and I was like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
And it's funny because when I learned those notes, I would chuck it in the choir, like, and I would get in trouble.
Try and sneak them in there.
Man, my mum would get so mad.
Yeah.
She just, like, obviously she can't get mad at me in front of people because child services, but she would just give me that look and I would know that I'm in trouble. And every time I put those notes in, well, I used to call it half notes. I don't even know what it is, like what the terminology is for it, but it was like I always call it half notes.
Yeah.
And my mum would hate it. She would kill me, like, every time I'd do it, and she would hear it. But like, I think later she was a bit more lenient to it because I don't know, she was just like, oh, yeah, it sounds cool.
Yeah. So was that from there? Obviously, that was that's a great foundation of music. It's choir in a church. Did that kind of spring your career in entertainment? Or what was your kind of first, like, oh, wow, I can actually do this for a living? Yeah.
I think it was just before I moved to Australia. So I was in New Zealand. And, I think it was 94, 93 when I was in New Zealand. I started a group with my cousins, and we would do the whole Boyz II Men thing, and it just kind of grew from there. Like, I've always loved doing harmonies and stuff, but then when I started the group there, like, it felt like, man, like, we sound pretty good. Like, but we probably sound like shit back then. But his we were like, man, this is really cool.
Yeah.
But then we had to move to Australia. So when I moved to Australia, I did the same thing here. And that's when I was like, yo, when we got our first gig, that's when I was like, man, we're getting paid.
We're getting paid
to do something we love doing.
Yeah, wow, what a trip. That was like so crazy.
Bro, it was like, it was just, it was like a light bulb just turned on. And it's not like I went and started my own business. And so I just went, I'll do another gig. I'll get another gig. So
you were gigging. Was it Gold Coast or did you start in Brisbane or
Brisbane?
Yeah,
started in Brisbane. It was I can't remember exactly, but I think our first gig was like at City Hall, Brisbane City Hall.
Mm-hmm.
The worst acoustics. Like the acoustics were the worst, but it was like our first gig. So like, when we did that kind of that sparked.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I got to do more gigs.
Yeah, and from there it would have just
how do I do that?
Kicked off. Yeah.
Yeah, but like as a kid, you have a lot of distractions and school and all that sort of stuff. But that really.
So how old were you?
I think I was either 17 or 18.
Holy shit! So like so and especially entertainment, that's such an exciting, exciting industry.
Like when you said "oh shit," it makes me sound real old. Like way back. Oh yeah.
I just hit you with the Kevin Hart. Damn. Have you seen that clip?
That was hilarious, bro. I like it. They just knew it. They just knew what they were doing. They were just playing at each other. It was good. Cool.
Those two are geniuses. I think Don Cheadle's pretty underrated.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Where were we?
Music industry.
Yeah. And that's when it kind of like, solidified that, this can be done. So, because before it was just about like, what run can I do? And they're talking about, the topic of conversation was about like, did you hear Brian McKnight's run that when he does this? And I was like, what the hell is that? So I would sit there with my tape player. You know what a tape player is? Damn.
Damn.
So with the tape player, and I would sit there and just rewind this run that Brian McKnight does. It was what was it? Crazy Love. So he did a cover of Crazy Love, and it was like the last. Anyway, and I would sit there and just rewind it, and just try and break down. And obviously, you can't slow it down, so I'm trying to listen to every note.
Yeah.
Then I would practice it, and then I finally got it. And when I did, I was like waiting for them to talk about it.
Just whip it out.
No one talked about it. I was like, hey, guess what I can do?
Had to bring it up.
Yeah. Oh, wait, did you ask if I can do that run from Brian McKnight? Yeah.
No, Xy, we didn't ask.
Anyway, this is how it goes.
Yeah.
But it was like, it kind of blossomed from there.
Yeah.
It just never stopped pretty much.
Yeah. So from there all the way to, what would you say is the peak of your career, or the most exciting or the most like fulfilling thing you've ever done? And that's hard because
there's a couple. I mean, like I was in a group, obviously random, and we won the X Factor. Like career wise, that's probably fame.
Mm-hmm.
It was like at the peak, and I learned so much about the industry at that time, because you just learn that the industry is pretty cutthroat.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
They're like, they only care about you if they need you.
Yeah.
That's business. And like, I think, career wise, I feel like that's where I was at my peak.
Mm-hmm.
But like experience, I think just, being in The Voice by myself and just really soaking it in and taking it for what it is, rather than thinking about too much behind the scenes, and just enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like, but still keeping in mind that business is business, and I feel like that's where I really grew. I grew a little bit more there, but if anything, it'll be those two. Yeah.
So both singing shows.
Yeah, both singing shows.
Yeah. What would you say is the biggest misconception about singing shows?
I'm about to expose.
I was going to say, give us the secrets. Give us the secrets.
No. I mean, I think you just got to go in with the mindset of it's business.
Yeah.
It's not. It's like the opportunity's there, and it can be good for you, or it might be. Yeah. It might give you a reality check. But either way, you're gonna learn. Yeah. I think. Yeah, people just forget that it's a business. And everything's obviously planned. Yeah. Before it happens. So, but like, you know, things can change on the way. But yeah, they just think of it as opportunity to become famous, and just don't keep in mind that there's a strategy already in place that they have. They're looking for certain things to make that blueprint work.
Yeah.
And so when they come in and they audition and they can be the best singer in the world, like they can be really good singers, and then they don't get through, and then their friends are like, "What? But you're like way better singer than this person."
Yeah.
No, it's like it's more than just being a great singer. You gotta. Sometimes it's about the look, but it's all about the story. It's all about connection with the audience. And if they don't see that in you, later boat.
Later boat.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how Cutthroat. They don't care. They don't care how good you are. They just need something that connects with the audience, and that's fair enough. It's like with any business, right? So when you're selling product, you want something that people can connect to and want.
Yeah.
And it's the same with these reality TV shows. Unfortunately, you got to go in with that mindset. You got to know the business, otherwise, you can really go there and emotional damage.
So when you went in for the first time, random.
Yeah.
Obviously, that would have been a massive learning. Like, wow, maybe this isn't what everything I thought it was, or you learned a bunch of new stuff. Did you kind of take all of that in the next time around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was still nerve-wracking just because I was by myself. So when in the group, you know, as a group, like the camera's not just always focused on you, but the other guys as well. So going into to The Voice, that's what was foreign to me. Like getting a lot of the attention. Like I've done it before, but I haven't really gotten to that space and gotten that much attention by myself. Yeah. So when that happened, I had to kind of like put on the front. Yeah. And just because I've like doing gigs and being an MC for like 9 years really helped me be able to control my emotions under big pressure. So it was I still was like, my heart was going but just keeping that straight face. Yeah, I learned that from being on stage.
Yeah. So I have a question. So because obviously you picked the song for when you do your audition. And the band has to.
They picked it.
Oh, did they pick it?
They picked it.
Really?
But
okay.
But in saying that, they asked for like a playlist of songs that you like singing. Okay. And then they would choose. If they find that there's a song that, but none of them were on there.
None of them were on there.
Yeah. Really? Higher Ground, Stevie Wonder was not on there. Trust me, I put it there. I didn't put it on there on purpose.
Wow.
You know, all those songs are like 5 octaves high. I would sing them 5 octaves lower at my gigs. So, like, yeah.
That is so crazy.
When they picked Stevie Wonder, I think there was a song before that. I can't remember. Oh, it was like another Stevie Wonder song that I sung. But then they ended up giving me Higher Ground instead. And then, but I was glad that they did, as much as it was like Stevie Wonder and like, you know, his ranges is crazy. So I was like, man, I'm going to do this justice. But it was like a song that I actually like singing. Like,
yeah, it's a real cool song.
Yeah, but here's the funny, I would never sing it at gigs, but I would always sing it, like I would always listen to it and just sing it like that. But yeah, when they told me I was singing, I was like, oh man. It's like, okay, now I really need to like just squeeze my balls.
Yeah, that makes so much sense, because I thought you would have chosen the song, because I don't know why, but it just makes sense to do that. And then the band would have to learn it, but the band already kind of has a catalog of songs, and then they would just...
Yeah, wow. Well, the band is like, they're just beasts, bro. Yeah. So like, obviously they've had the experience of playing covers or whatever. So when they said, oh, we're going to do, this is how we're going to do it, we're going to take it back to church, we're going to slow it down in the beginning. And I was like, yeah, bro, let's do that. Yeah, he would, he just started playing. I was like, oh, man. But like, when I first started singing, it was terrible. Oh, they liked it, but like, I was just like, from what it was, on stage.
Yeah.
To like from rehearsals when I first started trying to sing it, it was crap. And I've got the recording too, and it's crazy, bro. It's like so cringy. But the way they did it, like I was so glad because doing that song really and the arrangement really gave me a platform.
Yeah, it's crazy how like the way it's arranged live, because obviously when you know the song originally and then you can play it live and like subvert expectations at a stage here and all that stuff, it's exciting for the singer. It's like, this is sick, this is so awesome.
Right, it was well, I'm about to expose. No, they weren't actually playing it live, so it was pre-recorded. Wow. And it was to I think they were playing live, but the live recording was
what they used on like
actually, you know what? No, I don't know. I take that back because I think they were playing to a metronome.
Yeah.
And the metronome, like, you have to play to the time, so there's no, like, I'll just wait until he starts singing and then I'll play.
Yeah.
It was like, I had to get it right.
Oh, wow.
I had to sing it right on time. So, I don't know, no one noticed, but there's certain parts where I didn't sing in time where in my rehearsals, I've known where to sing it. But it's not that bad, but it's not how it was supposed to, the timing was supposed to go. But yeah.
Yeah. Especially that first part when it is so like, and it's like.
Yeah. People.
Yeah.
People. I think it was so. And then after that bit, I came in late. So I sang, it was like, wasn't in time and wasn't sitting in the pocket properly. But like, it still sounded okay. But like, it just would have, if I sang it on time, it would have just sat in the pocket so much nicer. But it made Boy George do the stinky face. So I was like,
yeah. It's some jazz.
Thank you.
Jazz.
Just like doing. And it made it, I don't know if he was doing that because of the band or the way I sung it. I don't know, but he did it.
Yeah.
And it made me look good.
Yeah. And when you're choosing the judge that you want to, is that pre-chosen as well? Or is that literally on the spot? Because that's actually quite a big decision. That changes how the rest of the show is going to go.
Yeah, I thought I was real smart on that one, but I was like, because they asked, do you have any idea who you'd like to go with? And I was like, yeah, I'll go with Guy. And I was like, why Guy? And because me and him have certain similar tones.
Yeah.
In some of our voices, and I feel like he'll know where to take my voice.
Yeah.
And that's what me thinking,
yeah, nice.
I'm smart, very smart.
Yeah.
And then, second battle and I'm out. Kicks me out to that Old Town Road damn song.
Yeah.
I knew, I had a feeling I was going to be out. I had a feeling.
During like rehearsal or during performance? Or
as soon as I found out I was singing Old Town Road.
Oh, really?
Because
that is devastating.
Dude,
to just know like, they want me gone.
But like when they said you're doing Old Town Road and I was like, okay. Damn, why would they get me to sing that?
Yeah.
And then I'd walk into the room and there's three of us. So rather, instead of there being two people, it was usually a two.
Yeah, it's the two.
It became a trio, and then I saw Wolf, and I was like, all right, it's either me or her. Like one of us is going out. Like he's staying. Like
he's got such an interesting voice.
Yeah, because that song definitely suits who he is. Like
yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like I was like, man, I think I'm gone.
Rigged. Rigged.
And then both of us had to go. So
really?
Both me and the girl had to go. Natalie Goucher, that's her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of us, and he stayed, and he was the one that wasn't supposed to be chosen. I don't know if you saw that part. It was like some real controversy of a guy. He wasn't supposed to turn around because the team was full. But when he was singing, he pressed it.
Oh, that's right. I didn't actually see the episode, but I saw the ad and I was like, oh, they're doing a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah, sweet. Yo. And I was like, not even knowing that this guy was going to take my place.
Wow.
But yeah, it is what it is. Like I said, strategy, like there's a plan in place that they put. And if you're not part of that plan anymore, then sayonara.
Wow, that's actually so. I didn't even know any of that about The Voice. I knew a lot about X Factor because Mum was on it.
There's a lot of things
Expose the secrets.
Just ask questions and I'll be honest.
Did you have to sign anything saying like you can't say this or you can't say that?
Yeah. Non-disclosure.
Yeah.
You have to, and that's fair.
Yeah.
Because they can't let anyone know who's gone through. Because I could go home and just tell you who's gone through and whatever.
Yeah.
But once you sign that,
oh, that's true. Yeah, I remember.
It just ruins the show.
I was so young when the Koi Boys first did their thing, and Mum was like, "Yeah, they chose Jesse," and I was like, "How do you know? Like, this is the first." It's like, "How do you know?" And whoever they chose, I think they chose.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "How does Mum know this?" And then she told me, I was like, "Oh, because they just did it on the spot."
Yeah. The movie guy.
Yeah, I know. I was lacking in that department. But yeah. But so apart from music, you do a lot of stuff on social media.
Yeah. Most of it's based around music, but also other stuff like personal family stuff and the side hustles.
Well, you got the blue check, and that's a big thing.
Thanks to The Voice, man.
Really? Is that what it's from? Wow,
that's where it's from.
Like a crazy little segue.
Yeah, crazy. Use it, man. If you want a blue check, go on The Voice.
Wow,
and just stir up, create some controversy and
So they just call up someone and say, "Hey, give this guy the blue check." Yo,
it's like, so you have to be talked about enough on the internet. So if they type you up and there's articles about you and whatever.
Yeah, wow.
And I've always tried to get the blue tick before that, and just never could. I thought it was because how many followers or you're posting every day or whatever. Yeah. But it's based around how much you're talked about in the web. So when I did the Voice and there was all these articles about me, I was like, yo, I should check if I can get the blue tick.
Yeah.
So I try to get the Instagram one and the Facebook one.
Yeah, wow.
Instagram one I got straight away.
Yeah. Do you like apply for it or something?
Yeah, you have to apply for it, give your license, all that sort of stuff. And I think it got approved like a couple of hours later.
Oh, wow.
And I was just like,
that's me now.
I got the blue tick. I got the blue tick. So I went straight to Facebook and I applied for that. And that one went straight away. That was pretty much like instant. I applied that and I think it was like 15 minutes. Yeah. And then looked back and says, your blue tick has been approved. And I was like, you've been verified. I was like, no freaking way. And I was so happy, posted about it. But yeah, having those blue ticks like does a lot of good things for you.
Yeah. Do people just always like, holy shit, you got the blue tick? It's
like
100%. It's a badge of honor.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. And it's like, really, it's just the thing that just tells you that it's actually you. Like you can't have a blue tick and be someone else. Yeah, true. Yeah, and that's basically all it is. But it's because the process is so hard to get. That's what makes it so valuable. Yeah, like the blue tick. But and it changes. Like I think it helps with the algorithm as well. So if you hit up a famous person and they see the blue tick there, then it's a bit more like they go, oh yeah, no, this guy's not a rapist or whatever.
Who would you say is the most famous person that you've? Because obviously you've got the people from The Voice, the judges, but is there anyone that's on top of that? Met or like had any sort of contact with? I'm looking for a little story, a little good nugget if you've got any.
I don't really have any. Like I did. Well, this is like a nugget for me anyway. But like I did. I went on tour with Boyz II Men. Did the Australian New Zealand tour. Yeah, and that for me because like I said earlier, they're the reason why I started singing. And when we won that show, and then I think it was a year later, maybe a little bit less, we got told that we were doing the tour for that. Man, that's when I was like super excited. Like I was peeing my pants, bro. Like I was, but that saying. Like, don't meet your heroes. Yeah. Oh, no. No. It's so true with some of the people, man. Like, wow. But, fair enough. They probably get it a lot. Yeah, they're probably sick of it. But
what happened? Did you do something you
did?
You
just try and have a conversation and they just.
Oh, yeah.
They just like you're sitting there with them, right? And
it's almost some. Yeah, I know what you mean.
One word answers, and it's just like, oh man, you guys were so amazing last night, man. Like,
yeah.
And they go, thanks, man.
Just back to.
Yeah, and then this hot chick doesn't even say a word, and he's like, hey girls, let me take you to my castle. Bro, it's like, yeah, wait, hold up. So I go around the corner, put a wig on, show a bit of leg. Hey, Wanye.
Wow.
Nah, yeah, it was, I mean, like, it was still, the experience was like, nothing I've ever done before. But yeah, it was just like, I wish we were just able to just talk, like, and just, and it's probably for like, you know, millions of other people too, but I just wanted them to know, like, bro, you're the reason that
you're the reason,
Bro, I was so close to saying it, but like, just the one word answers really turned me off from saying it, because I was like, man, they just want to be left alone, so I just...
Damn, it's sad. It's sad. When I learned that concept, because I thought, like, you meet your hair, it's amazing, but then people were like, don't meet your heroes, and I never understood it, and then I heard stories, and I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, it's because they're human too, man. They're human as well. Like, we see them, we put them on a high pedestal that, you know, they're like that all the time. But, like, you know, they have their problems too.
Yeah.
So sometimes, you know, I could be that one person that did just like, fuck, man, there was this dude that was really annoying trying to talk to me. I just want to be left alone.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be that dude. That was a cool experience, though. Like, that didn't take away how cool that experience was.
Yeah.
Like just being on stage with Boyz II Men, but like just supporting them, and our show was pretty dope. Like, it was cool, it was fun. It was fun. It had a lot of like comedy in it, as well as like, you know, dancing and singing, and like people in New Zealand didn't know who the hell we were. But the thing is, like, because there was no MC to announce us on stage, so I had to do the myself, and I was like, ladies and gentlemen, I plugged us like huge. I was like, the first Polynesians to ever win an Australian reality TV show, and the crowd went nuts, bro. They just went crazy, because like, awesome. Like, to hear that, you know, especially in New Zealand, that, you know, Polly's in Australia won the first like reality, or the first Polly's to win the reality TV show. That's when, like, they just went nuts. And when we came out, even though they didn't know who the fuck we were, like, they just like, oh my god, they must have a lot of money, but not even. Yeah, we're trying to make money, trying to cover our debt, but
yeah. What would you say is the best live show you've ever seen?
Ooh, I've got it. It's it's only because Usher. Yeah. 8701. I think it was 8701. 8701 tour.
Wow.
And yeah, that was crazy. But like, I also went to see Bruno Mars, but it was so hard to rate it, just because the sound wasn't where I was sitting anyway. The sound wasn't as good as I thought.
That's what a lot of people have said, because I was too young to go to that one. I just missed it.
No way.
So the whole family, man, I still get angry at them, even though I've seen him now. I saw him last year in October in Sydney. He was at the Allianz Stadium.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
that the where he was? That's the only place he went to, eh?
Yeah, which blew my mind.
It was Silk Sonic, right?
No, it was just him.
Wait, when was this?
It was October last year. So
was it just him? It wasn't Silk Sonic?
Yeah. Anderson wasn't there, which I was low-key hoping, like, just bring him out for like one song at least. But yeah, no, he didn't do it. He still played, just him on the piano. He did leave the door open and smoking out the window.
Oh, no way.
But yeah, he didn't have the whole, I think just might be a contractual thing. So if they do come here, then it's like, okay, that's the Silk Sonic.
Yeah. Man, I don't care what song, I'm going. Like Silk Sonic. They need to support that. Backstage passes, you know, man.
I feel like a lot of people in the industry, especially Brisbane and Gold Coast, would definitely be there.
Oh, that's for sure sold out.
Yeah.
And you got to get in early for that, because those...
Oh, man. As soon as it's announced, it's like, all right, everyone put their money together. We'll sort everyone out after.
We'll go in debt for that.
Yeah. But, so when they went and they left us, and that was like, and I love that album. 24 Karat Magic, I think, is a really great album.
Oh, hell yeah.
So they all went and they did the whole 90s thing. They all dressed up. and they all left on their van, and they said they had a great time. There was someone new, like one of Kukul's daughter, Charmaine, one of her friends came, and no one even really knew her, and I was like, this is disgraceful. Like I'm the first grandson. Like how are you going to leave me here by myself? I was with my cousin, but yeah. Oh. So then I got my revenge.
What did you do?
In October. I went in October to see.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
But we missed our flight and we had to drive to Sydney. So
you had to drive.
Yeah. We were idiots. It's actually so annoying. So we missed our flight.
How did you miss your flight? We slept in?
Yeah. Which is even more annoying. It's not even like, oh, there was traffic or there was a car crash. We just slept in. Oh, so we drove down and yeah, I was not going to miss it. It was like, yeah. Especially with COVID and everything, you don't know when things are going to get shut down. 100%. But yeah, man, he was my favorite live performance, definitely. And he did his full.
Oh my gosh. It's him.
What?
Bruno.
What is?
Is like my artist, like right now. Sorry, we'd go back to that question where you said, is there any new age? And I said, there's no new age artist.
Yeah.
But it's Bruno. Yeah. Like ever since 24 Karat, that was it. Yeah. Like, because I didn't really listen to him much, like besides singing some of his songs at our gigs.
Yeah, because he's had like those number one hits. Right?
Yeah. And they didn't really, like, it didn't really put him in my radar until 24.
And that's like right in that 90s. That would have been right. That would have been right in your thing. Yeah.
This is how bad I really loved that like album. When 24K Magic came out, I was like, "There's no way I'm not singing this at my gigs." And so I was in search for the instrumental, couldn't find it.
Wow.
So I made my own.
You made your own.
I made my own.
Talkbox and everything.
Everything. Talkbox and everything, bro.
How did you do the talkbox?
Carl Davis, Carl Davis?
Yeah, KD,
Yeah, KD, he did it for me.
Yeah, he's the talkbox guy,
bro,
man.
He's the dude, man. So anyway, I said, bro, I need your talkbox on this, bro. And he goes, send it through. So he always comes through for me. So I sent it through to him and he did it and he brought it back. I was like, bro.
That's awesome.
Let's freaking go. So like, yeah, I took it to the gigs and I was like, yeah. Like I'm the man. Yeah. Wow. 2 weeks later, the instrumental came out. Wow. I think it was 2 weeks later. Yeah. And I was like, but it's still, like, I still use that instrumental to this day rather than the other one because I just got it there on my laptop. But yeah, that's how much I loved it, man. And then when the album was there, I was like how.
And the whole thing too. There's no filler. There's the whole thing.
Nah, every song, man. Like I would listen to it from top to bottom, bro. Like I would just, I could just like, it's in my head.
Calling on my lovelies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Calling on my lovelies, bro. That song.
That's the song, eh?
Bro, that's
the one, honestly, when I hear people, because obviously like Bruno Mars, I think 24 Karat Magic got Uptown Funk, but when I hear people that like know music, they always say, Calling on my lovelies is
bro,
the track.
Calling on my lovelies is my jam,
It's
bro.
the track.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's just funny. It's got everything in a song that I think you'd want. Like the good music, like, it's not real, it's not gross. Like, that song we were talking about before, how it's like real gross and vulgar. It's like, and Halle Berry as well. Like it's awesome. It's amazing.
It's genius. It's genius, man.
It's genius, yeah.
And it's like, it just makes simple things freaking spectacular, bro.
I can't remember who said exactly that. I think it was actually Quincy Jones, maybe. He said that the best artists make complicated music simple, like Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind & Fire. And I was like, yeah, absolutely right. Because they make music for the musicians, and also for like just the regular people.
Yeah, it's crazy because exactly that, man. Like people that aren't musicians will love it. People that are musicians will love it.
Yeah,
and that's the perfect formula, bro.
It's the perfect formula, yeah.
Perfect. And you can't go wrong with that. Like you grab both demographics, man. That's it. Done.
Yeah, game over. I can't even think of any other artists that are kind of up to that sort of caliber that have both.
I think there are like some that are like hidden gems, like that don't have the exposure that he does.
Yeah,
and because there's a few, like even when they weren't Silk Sonic, and you'd listen to Anderson .Paak. Is it Paak or Park? Park, Anderson .Paak? Paak? Anderson .Paak.
It's one of those things.
Like Tupac and Tupac?
Yeah. Anyway, I go Paak.
Go Paak. So AP.
AP, eh?
Getting personal here.
It's the blue check.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a blue check thing. Wouldn't understand. But yeah, anyway, when I listen to him, like that has the same feel. Like his album, his old stuff is like around that. Obviously, it's not like as commercialized as like 24K, but like it has that same feel that you would feel.
It's the perfect. I think it's like you got the old school soul, and this is the perfect kind of modern version of that. Because you got like people that you'd consider like new soul artists, and they got like the, you know, all the synthesizers and all that stuff, and that's great as well. But he's really kind of bringing it with all the instruments and his back.
Yeah.
He is a hidden gem, definitely underrated.
Yeah, and there's a few other artists that I listen to that don't have that same exposure, but like just, you know, really try and bring out that keep that old school, Earth, Wind and Fire type feel. Like I just can't see, they don't get the exposure, you know, as Bruno does. So you don't remember the name, you just remember how you felt.
Remember how you
listening
felt.
to it, right? That's
There's only a few songs nowadays where I'm like, oh wow, and you click like, and it's like, add that to liked. But
100%. Yeah.
We're doing pretty well. We're not even onto my whole other topic of what I wanted to talk about, which is mainly just social media. Because I wanted to ask you about like the state of it, because you know you've got people like Andrew Tate, who's massive. He's the controversy king at the moment.
Oh yeah.
So what would you say? Well, I don't think you haven't been cancelled, but you've definitely gotten like comments, right, of like people saying, "Oh, you're this, you're that."
Yeah, I think I've lost a few friends.
Oh wow! So it's gone that deep into like your personal life.
Well, yeah, I don't think I like lost them as friends, but I think I've just lost their respect.
Oh, interesting.
Just because of we have different beliefs, but it's just immature because not everyone likes chocolate cake, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like just get over it, man. Like we were good friends before this conversation even came up, but we still believed the same thing until someone, you know, brought it to light. Now we have to talk about it. Yeah. Like, why can't we just still be the same as we were before, except like, you know, we just know where each other stands when it comes to certain things, but it shouldn't change how we feel about each other. And yeah, I had one friend just recently who commented and said they were really disappointed in me. But it's like, it's like, why? Yeah. And they accused me of supporting that the Andrew Tate thing, which is sad because, when someone accuses you of, I don't even know if I should say this, but like, you know, say, oh, you're supporting, you know, human trafficking by supporting this guy. That, to me, that's arrogant. Like, you're just like, you know me. Like, why would I do that? I've got kids. I've got family. Like,
it does seem a bit like they're not thinking.
No, they're not. They're not, because as soon as they say that, they accuse you of supporting it, then that's just like it's like the logic's not there. And obviously they just don't know. Like, they've seen me with my family. They've seen how I am as a person. So obviously they disregarded all of that and just says, you support that. It's like, wow.
Interesting. So it's almost like they see your online personality as a totally different person.
Like that person is not the only person that said that.
Yeah.
Like, there's other people that have private messaged me and said they're disappointed and I'm just like, gee. Yeah, so what? Like, I go for Trump, whatever. Like, I would, like, if there was like Trump and Biden, like, I'd obviously go for Trump. Yeah. And it's just like, okay, everything that he's accused of, you're supportive of that, and that's how you are. Yeah. It's like, you're a bigot, you're a racist, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, wow.
like where does that logic come from?
Yeah, especially when you know, every time there's a bad thing that happens, and that's with any, like, you know, let's go Kevin Hart. He's pretty uncancelable, but when he had that whole thing of him cheating on his wife, like, that was him for, it was like, oh, he's a cheater, he's this and that. But you totally forget about all the other great things that he's done. Yeah. And that's not, you know, getting rid of the fact that he cheated on his wife. Definitely not.
Yeah, 100%.
But, you know, it's like, you can't just make that, oh, that's who he is now. That's all he'll ever be, you know?
Yeah, and like, unfortunately, that's the world we live in, because people are just so easily influenced. And they just let other people think for them. rather than thinking for themselves.
Yeah.
Instead of going, oh, wait, hold up. Nah, so I wouldn't really support that because I've seen him. You know, he's got family, he's got kids, and he's a good father, and he wouldn't do that. And it was like, nah, they totally disregard that and says, you're a supporter of this. This is what you are.
That's pretty hectic. All the stuff I've seen, I don't even think there's anything that would even imply that you support human trafficking.
That's why it's just it doesn't.
It doesn't like compute. You're like, how does it? Why would you even think that?
Yeah. You to even bring that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the world we live in. But you know, I talk with, you know, with love, and I don't like I can like retaliate and talk back like nasty or whatever and say this is what I believe, if you or whatever. But it's like I just know where they're coming from, and it's like it's just uneducated.
Where their heart is at.
Yeah, I just know the type of person they are, and they just don't know. They just don't know. And said, so when you talk back, you try to talk back with love, you know, as much as you can. But you know, at that time, I just felt good. I talked back, you know, and they were cool.
Yeah.
So they said, okay, we'll have a chat. So we'll have a chat.
That's kind of why I started doing all the Prince Hunky stuff, was to open up conversations. Because I've only had like a handful of people message me saying like, you know, what's your intention with asking these questions? And obviously there's a bit of like, well, they're definitely controversial. So they're definitely going to, you know.
I'm just trying to get a million views, man.
Yeah. But then, you know, even like mum and dad sat me down one time, or didn't sit me down, but we're having dinner. And then I asked them about it. I was like, so what do you think? And then they were just like, we don't know. Like, we just don't really know. And it's like, oh, okay. And I've kind of learned like, you know, not to try and impress your parents. It's obviously great to make them proud of what you do.
Yeah.
But if you try and live your life based on what they want for you, then you're never gonna
100%, bro.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the parents' job as well, to be understanding. Like, obviously, if you're killing people left, right, and center, there's got to be a problem. Yeah. But it's, you know, it's not even. Yeah. Doesn't even touch the surface of that. So to be, you know, as a parent myself, I support my kids in whatever they do. So not whatever I want them to do, as much as, you know, there's stuff that I would like to see them go in, but like if they want to go somewhere else, then that's fine. As long as it's not hurting anyone else or hurting themselves, they have my support, like 100%. And if I can do anything to help them, I will.
Yeah. What's that been like, your relationship with your kids and also what you do? Because I know mine with mum was very, especially when she started doing her whole thing after X Factor, and she was doing the tours and she was doing this and that. It was a lot of distance, like a lot of like she didn't have enough time to do stuff with me, her son. So did you ever find that you had to try and balance, or you felt like you...
Oh, it was a roller coaster.
Yeah, wow.
Because, you know, I was obviously married. I've been married twice. So the first marriage was with my older kids. So Maya and Zion. Maya's 21, Zion's 19. And yeah, at that time I was trying to figure out myself. Yeah. And I've always wanted to travel for music.
Yeah.
Like I never really wanted kids. I didn't want kids yet.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I just, at the moment I want to focus on career, you know, build something so that when I have my kids, then I'm focused on my kids.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
But you know what? I would never change it because I'd probably be a different person right now. I'd probably be a different person. I wouldn't be with my wife now. I wouldn't have my new son, Omari, you know, all these good things that are happening right now. I wouldn't have that. So I wouldn't go back and change it. But the relationship I had, the only unfortunate thing is the relationship I had with my kids, my older kids, was a bit more like there was a disconnection between us. And as much as we all don't want to admit it, there is like a disconnection we had as they were growing up, because I was always away from them. Yeah. And at one stage they moved to Rockhampton, so they were there for, I can't remember how long, but that kind of made it a bit more harder to connect.
And they would have been right into that transitioning into like an adult. Oh, which is like that's when it's the most important. Yeah.
to be there, right? And you would know that.
I'm just coming out of it now, of that kind of disconnect, and it's nice. It's nice coming back into it and starting to build a good relationship with mum and dad and stuff. Yeah, but yeah, man, those 2-3 years were rocky as.
Right. Yeah, and that's crazy. Like, this is coming from a parent perspective, and
I've got your child.
Because right now it's like everything's good, so everything's cool. Like I feel like that disconnection's starting to feel now. Like it's starting to connect so much more, and we went through a lot, and I just knew deep down that I may have been the problem. Like, you know, I wasn't probably giving enough. My daughter, whether it was me or her, when your kid is yearning for you and complaining about you, then it's you.
Was it mainly that with your daughter? Because the father-daughter dynamic is actually a very unique thing amongst any other sort of dynamic in the family.
Yeah. Because, I for years I would deny it. I'd be like, nah, I was a good father. I was there. Like I tried to be there as much as I could, but I can pretty much say that till I'm blue in the face. But if she's saying, I need you, like I need more time, I needed more time with you, then you are the problem. Yeah. But for years I was denying that. Yeah. And so, but it came to a point where this house, we've only been in this house for probably 2 years. And it was in this house where we sat down right here. And she said, oh, I just saw like this face that she did that I've seen as a kid when I got angry at one stage, and she did this face, and I never wanted to get angry like that again. Yeah. She had that face, and then it was then I knew like I had to put aside my ego and just accept it, and just accept that I was the problem. Yeah. And then promise her that I was going to be there for her when she, when she needs me. Like, I'll promise I'll be there. And when I did that, everything changed. Yeah. Changed. Like, I'm talking about like years of like trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with her. Like when you're the problem. Yeah. To that, just letting go of my ego and accepting that, I'm the problem. And as soon as that happened, man, like it changed everything between me and her. Yeah. She just, and then she just became this beautiful woman, bro. Like just beautiful. Like it just changed. Yeah. Still annoying sometimes, but, and it was just that one thing, bro. Yeah. And it was
right here in this room,
Right here in this room, man. Like it was just like we're just sitting there. She was crying her eyes, and I just saw it, and I was like, oh. Yeah. It's like just let go. It was like I just slapped. I slapped myself in the face and just.
It would have hit harder too because she's your only daughter, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been a lot.
Yeah, and it was like, it was, man, that was like such a eye opener for me as a parent because you think you're doing the right thing by your kids sometimes, and then you just get hit with reality saying, nah, man.
Yeah, wow.
Gee, wake up to yourself. Yeah. And that's like, I truly believe that I was a good parent. Like, I think I was, but I was missing. Yeah. I was so focused on myself and what I needed to do to make me feel better, so that I could like try and figure out what's wrong with my daughter. Yeah. And it was like that for years until I just really just freaking stepped outside of myself and just looked at myself and go, bro, you look like an idiot. Yeah, wow. It's like, just let it go, man. Like, what's the worst that can happen to you if you just say, I'm sorry. I'll always be there for you. Yeah. It doesn't change nothing besides the problem solved. So if I didn't say that, like, I don't know where we would be right now, but because I did that, it didn't change anything for me, but it changed everything for her. Yeah. And our relationship as well. Yeah. So
it's a really crazy thing, especially coming from a kid. And I've literally just come out of that phase, exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Of like there's just a disconnect and you can't really figure it out. Yeah. And as a kid, man, you really do think you're the issue, even though you blame your parents for it. Yeah. But it's an insane thing when you're a parent, especially mum, who's, you know, she's been with me single parent up until dad came.
Yeah.
And then it was I can't remember what it was about, but she just apologized. She just said sorry if there was like anything that I wasn't there for you for, or, you know, she just did that whole thing, and I was like, whoa, that's insane. And it made me feel like, man, I need to step up my game, because if she can do that as an adult, as someone that I've always thought is just correct, if she's, you know, apologizing and saying all that stuff, then me myself, I need to like break out of my own ego as a kid. And a single parent child relationship is pretty interesting as well, because you don't have you don't have the like, you can't like,
you only can fall on one emotion, like there's not that. I couldn't
really go to dad and say mum's doing this, mum's doing that. She was mum and dad, and then, you know, dad now came along and he did such an amazing job at you know, filling in that spot. And yeah, you're right, it's crazy the valley you got to go through, but I wouldn't have like my two little brothers now, and, you know, I adore them with my whole life. Yeah, it's shit that all that happens, but it's crazy how much it can actually strengthen all the relationships.
My answer is always that. Like, every time, like, usually when I'm in a podcast and people ask me, like, well, what's one thing you would change in the past? And I said, I don't know, man. I don't think I would, because I'm scared that it'll change everything now. Like,
wow.
You know what I mean? Like, it's... Yeah, of course, there's things you don't, you know, you wish you didn't do, but like, you know, if you didn't do it, it's like, would that change? Like, would I have met my wife now and had Omari? Like, if, you know, if I didn't walk into the shop and it changed everything, you know, like, if there's a chance, if someone said, would you go change that? But the chances that you might not have Omari, I'd be like, hell no.
Yeah, wow.
It's like, F that.
Yeah. That's so interesting. Do you believe in fate, or do you believe in making your own destiny, or a bit of both?
It's a tough one. It's a tough. Like a friend of mine said something that really just, because I don't like the fact that you can't control your life if fate's there. Like, if fate is like, if your path is already determined, then what's the use of being on earth, and what's the use of making decisions? Like, but they said there is multiple paths. There's only one destination, but there's multiple paths of getting there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what decision you make, you will eventually get to your destination, but because of your choices, it may take longer or it may be shorter. Yeah. And that's the only difference.
Yeah.
And to me, that made way more sense. Then you know, if my destination, if my life is preordained to become rich and rich. No, but you know, your better version of yourself is there. It's just waiting for you to come. But my choices on the way there might you know, take me detour to somewhere else. Or if I make the right choice, it'll take me closer and quicker. To me, that, like, I really just lost my train of thought. But like, this is like what makes more sense to me than it being like, oh, there's one path and this is it. Because that's what I thought it was, and I was like, nah, I don't like the fact that, you know, your life's predetermined for you. But then my friend explained that to me, and I was like, yeah, I like that. That makes more sense with how the world is working today. Like, you know, you could still make mistakes. It's like, that way made way more sense to me.
Yeah, it does actually make a lot of sense, because you do see people that do end up in the position, and they will look back on their life and think, man, I could be in the same position a lot quicker, or I could, you know, obviously have done it worse and taken a lot longer, or even just the journey would change who you are by the time you get to that spot. Yeah. So yeah, that's actually a really cool way to look at it, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. But the only thing, like, is like the people that die. So was that their destination? That's the only thing that plays with me in my head, is the people that die before. Like, is that their destination? Is to...
Oh, like taken too early type thing?
Yeah. Like, okay, they're just meant to... Because if we all had a spot that we were like a better version of ourselves to travel to, and you die before you even get there, is that what they're predetermined to? That's the only thing that plays. But the whole other concept is what, like, makes more sense to me when it comes to predetermined stuff, or you make your own choices in life and you create your own path. Like that would, But that's the only thing that plays, like when death.
Yeah.
It's like
that's the only
they
thing
die too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, God. No.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, that was about an hour. I think we'll wrap it up now. Thank you so much, man. This was actually so much fun. I really liked it.
Yeah,
you're a great first guest. Yes.
And I get that every time.
Yeah. Who are the other people that you've been first guests for?
It was. I'm trying to remember the podcast. Good, now I'm going to be in trouble. Please edit this.
Yeah. Do you want to plug anything? I know you got,
Want to Work Out? Yeah. Freak. Want to Work Out. And shout out to Lala Threads.
Yo.
This is such a great, so I'm one of the ambassadors for Lala Threads.
Are you as well?
Yeah, so it was me first, and then I got my daughter onto it. And so, yeah, they really like pushing for mental health, because Lala is actually named after the person that took their life. It was one of their her friends, close friends. I think. Oh no, I don't want to say it, but close friend. And she started this on behalf of her, and it was for mental health. And because my daughter went through it, she went through it kind of the worst case, and I'm a big advocate on mental health, and Lala Threads. They got some good, man. They're so underrated because they put so much effort into like the quality of product.
Yeah, and I had to look at the store and I was like, this is nice stuff. This is some real nice stuff.
It's really good, but go check out the stuff, and if you're looking for stuff, because when is winter again?
Winter, oh gosh, August? No,
is it July?
July, August.
I have no idea. Anyway.
Yeah. Are you doing a winter sale or something?
They got some awesome winter stuff.
Oh, okay.
Also they got some summer stuff as well. But go check it out. Some really good gear that's worth the money and good for a good cause. So
go check it out. That's so cool.
And also Want to Work Out, it's
popping off. It's popping off.
It's getting there. Got some things happening behind the scenes. So hopefully, fingers crossed, God willing. Takes. That it goes through, but it's a good thing, man. I do this every week. Every day. I do the Want to Work Out. I did an 8-week challenge. I lost 8 kilos.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good, high intensity. Like just looking at it, you kind of like looks like little kiddie stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, everyone that's come and tried it has just been like, like wow. So I open it like like what they contemplate their life, and it's quite intense, man. Awesome. But it's really good. It's really good for cardio, and go check it out.
Go check it out. All right, thank you so much again. It was really fun.
Thank you.
I liked it.
You know what we're talking about. From the airways, see stereo. Yes, now you know.